Tributes are pouring in for legendary singer-songwriter Kris Kristofferson, who died yesterday at 88.
Willie Nelson just revealed shocking truths about Kris Kristofferson after his death. In the realm of country music, few names stand as tall as Willie Nelson and Kris Kristofferson. With a legacy of hit songs and a friendship that has endured the test of time, these two icons have made an unforgettable mark on the industry, captivating the hearts of millions worldwide. However, following Kristofferson's recent passing, Nelson has revealed a shocking truth about his longtime friend, leaving fans stunned. What are the secrets behind the smiles of this legendary figure? Are they intended to elevate his legacy, or could they tarnish it? Join us as we dive into these startling revelations and their potential impact on Kris Kristofferson's legacy. Nelson's disclosure about Kris's past is both unexpected and deeply personal, revealing a truth that has remained hidden for years. But before we uncover this secret, it's essential to understand the foundation of their bond. The relationship between Kris Kristofferson and Willie Nelson. Kris Kristofferson and Willie Nelson shared a unique, enduring friendship built on mutual respect, collaboration, and a shared love for music. As two of country music's most influential figures, they rose to fame during the late 1960s and 1970s as part of the outlaw country movement, which challenged the conventional Nashville sound. Their connection deepened through their personal achievements, as well as their work together, particularly as members of the supergroup The Highwaymen, alongside Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings. Kristofferson was known for his poetic and introspective songwriting, while Nelson's distinct voice and versatility made him a beloved figure. Their relationship was founded on a mutual appreciation for each other's songwriting abilities, with both men prizing authenticity and emotional depth in their music. Kristofferson gained widespread acclaim when artists like Johnny Cash and Janis Joplin recorded his songs, while Nelson's hits, such as Crazy, became iconic within the country music genre. Over the years, the two collaborated on numerous projects. Their creative synergy was evident in The Highwaymen, where their performances on tracks like Highwaymen showcased their deep connection. Their friendship extended beyond music as both men valued artistic independence, creativity, and integrity over commercial success. These shared values fostered a bond that transcended the ups and downs of their individual careers. Throughout the years, the friendship between Kristofferson and Nelson remained strong, a testament to their admiration for each other's talents and their shared experiences navigating the challenges of the music industry. Together, they achieved legendary status, not only as individual artists, but also as part of a movement that reshaped the country music landscape. But who exactly was Kris Kristofferson, and how did his early life shape the man and artist he would become? Let's explore his formative years. Kris Kristofferson's early life. Christopher Kristofferson was born on June 22, 1936, in Brownsville, Texas. His early life was a mix of privilege and hardship, experiences that would profoundly influence his journey and eventual success. The eldest of his siblings, Kris was raised by Mary Ann and Lars Kristofferson, a U.S. Air Force general whose strict military discipline would play a significant role in shaping his son's character. As a child, Kris's family moved frequently due to his father's military career, eventually settling in San Mateo, California. In 1954, after graduating from San Mateo High School, Kristofferson pursued his passion for writing at Pomona College. His early works, such as essays and short stories, began to garner attention, with notable pieces like The Rock and Gone Are the Days, featured in The Atlantic Monthly. These early writings reflected themes that would define much of Kristofferson's later work. The Rock was a symbolic meditation on a rock formation that resembled a female figure, while Gone Are the Days explored historical themes of race and identity. As a young man, Kristofferson excelled in both academics and athletics. He was a standout football player and a Golden Gloves boxer, demonstrating a rare blend of intellectual and physical prowess. At the age of 17, Kristofferson took on a grueling summer job with a dredging contractor on Wake Island in the Pacific Ocean, which he later described as the hardest work he had ever done. Despite these challenges, his artistic ambitions began to worry his parents, who were proud of his achievements but concerned by his growing passion for the arts and his desire to forge a path distinct from his father's military legacy. As Kris Kristofferson's story unfolds, his early experiences reveal the complex layers of a man who would go on to shape the landscape of country music, creating timeless songs that resonated deeply with audiences. His friendship with Willie Nelson was an integral part of this journey, and Nelson's recent revelations about Kris only add to the mystique surrounding his life and legacy. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the surprising truth Willie Nelson has shared, and the lasting impact it may have on how we remember Kris Kristofferson. Tension mounted between Kris Kristofferson and his family after he was awarded the prestigious Rhodes Scholarship to study literature at Oxford University in England. His bold and rebellious decision to accept the scholarship and pursue a literary career caused a significant rift with his parents. His father, in particular, took the decision hard, interpreting it as a rejection of the family's military tradition and a disappointment in his hopes for his son. As time passed, the gap between father and son grew wider. Kristofferson's artistic ambitions clashed more and more with his family's conservative values. Despite the familial discord, Kris thrived at Oxford, immersing himself in literature and honing his writing craft. During this period, he began exploring songwriting, drawing inspiration from literary giants like William Blake and other renowned authors. Even though his early songwriting efforts did not bring immediate financial success, they showcased his deep understanding of poetry and his exceptional ability to craft intricate, emotionally rich lyrics. Upon completing his studies at Oxford, Kristofferson faced a pivotal crossroad in his life. He was torn between following his artistic dreams and meeting the expectations of his family. Ultimately, he chose to enlist in the U.S. Army, following his father's footsteps, with the goal of becoming a helicopter pilot and ranger. Though this path seemed to divert him from his artistic aspirations, the decision would prove to be a crucial moment that shaped his future, both personally and professionally. While serving in the military, Kristofferson continued to develop his songwriting talents, forming a band with fellow soldiers and performing at various military events. It was during this time that he realized the profound ability of music to foster connections and convey powerful messages. This realization marked a significant turning point in his creative evolution, laying the groundwork for the remarkable career that lay ahead as a singer and songwriter. Although his passion for music continued to grow, his military career also advanced, and he was eventually offered the prestigious opportunity to teach English at West Point Academy. However, it wouldn't be long before Kristofferson began making waves in the music industry. Kristofferson's career journey, the rise of an icon. Kris Kristofferson is widely regarded as a multi-talented figure in both the music and film industries, celebrated for his poetic lyricism and heartfelt performances. His deeply honest and evocative words have left a lasting impact on the country and folk music scenes, inspiring countless artists. Kristofferson's unmatched talent and commitment to his craft have secured his legacy as a timeless figure, one whose contributions continue to be honored by generations. In the early stages of his career, Kristofferson took an unglamorous job as a janitor at Columbia Records in Nashville, where he was responsible for cleaning floors and bathrooms. Although not a prestigious position, it allowed him to form valuable connections within the music world. Through persistence and dedication, he befriended iconic figures such as Johnny Cash and June Carter, who would later sing his songs. Before achieving fame, Kristofferson's life took him down a bold and adventurous path. He worked as a commercial helicopter pilot for Petroleum Helicopters International, PHI, in Lafayette, Louisiana for 3 years. Reflecting on this transformative period, Kristofferson often spoke of balancing the demands of flying helicopters with his growing passion for songwriting. He split his time between working on oil rigs in Louisiana and immersing himself in Nashville's music scene, pitching his songs to industry insiders. Kristofferson's time as a helicopter pilot deeply influenced his songwriting, providing inspiration for many of his most famous works. It was during this period that he wrote his iconic songs, Help Me Make It Through the Night and Me and Bobby McGee. The former was penned while he was stationed on an oil platform, and the latter drew inspiration from the colorful surroundings of southern Louisiana. He passed on his music to June Carter, hoping she would share it with Johnny Cash. Although Cash initially overlooked the song, he eventually added it to a collection of unreleased tracks. In a bold move that would become part of music legend, Kristofferson made an unforgettable impression on Cash by landing a helicopter in his yard to deliver his songs in person. While it's often rumored that he arrived with a beer in one hand and his demo tapes in the other, Kristofferson has clarified that the story was somewhat embellished. Though his impromptu visit could be seen as intrusive, especially since he assumed Cash wasn't home, he admired Johnny's creative spirit and took the risk. Despite the unconventional circumstances, Cash was struck by Kristofferson's talent and ultimately decided to record Sunday Morning Coming Down. This collaboration earned Kristofferson the Songwriter of the Year award at the 1970 Country Music Association Awards, solidifying his place in the industry. Kristofferson's early success was also marked by the performance of his song Vietnam Blues by Dave Dudley in 1966, which received significant praise. In the following year, he signed with Epic Records and released the song Golden Idol, though it failed to achieve commercial success. However, his music continued to gain attention, with notable artists such as Roy Drusky, Billy Walker, Ray Stevens, Jerry Lee Lewis, Farron Young, and Roger Miller recording his songs, many of which went on to become chart toppers. Kristofferson's rise to fame was not a typical one. From his humble beginnings as a janitor and helicopter pilot to becoming one of the most respected songwriters of his generation, his journey was filled with unique experiences that shaped both his personal and professional life. His unwavering dedication to his craft and his bold, unconventional choices set him apart, ultimately leading to a storied career that continues to influence artists and fans alike. Kristofferson's performances began to attract significant attention, especially after receiving a strong endorsement from Johnny Cash at the Newport Folk Festival. This endorsement helped solidify his reputation as a talented artist. Soon after, he signed a contract with Monument Records, where his songwriting career was overseen by Fred Foster, the label's head. In 1970, Kristofferson released his debut album, which featured a mix of new material and previously recorded songs. Although the album initially failed to make an impact, it was re-released in 1971 under the title Me and Bobby McGee, and eventually garnered widespread acclaim. The album featured performances by well-known artists such as Ray Price, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Waylon Jennings, Bobby Bare, Johnny Cash, and Sam Smith, who all enjoyed success with Kristofferson's songs during the early 1970s. His compositions were highly sought after during this time, contributing to his rising fame as a songwriter. Kristofferson's breakthrough came in 1970 when his songs For the Good Times and Sunday Morning Coming Down received major praise from both the Academy of Country Music and the Country Music Association. This recognition solidified his position as a prominent songwriter. He achieved a rare feat by winning Song of the Year awards from both organizations in the same year for two different songs. In 1971, Janis Joplin's rendition of Me and Bobby McGee for her album Pearl became a massive hit, dominating the charts for several weeks. Following the song's surge in popularity, numerous artists enjoyed success with their own covers of the track. The iconic country singer Kenny Rogers recorded several of Kristofferson's songs, including Me and Bobby McGee, in 1969 with his band The First Edition for their album Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town, which achieved great commercial success. These collaborations further cemented Kristofferson's status as one of the most respected songwriters of his time, highlighting the lasting appeal of his music. In 1971, Kristofferson's song The Silver-Tongued Devil and I propelled him into the spotlight, with Loving Her Was Easier Than Anything I'll Ever Do Again, becoming an instant hit. That same year, he made his acting debut in the film Cisco Pike, which was released around the time of his third album, Borderlord. Although initial sales of the album were slow, his music career reached new heights when he won the Grammy Award for Best Country Song for Help Me Make It Through the Night. Despite a slow start, Kristofferson's 1972 album Jesus Was a Capricorn saw a surprise hit in Why Me, a song that went on to sell over 1 million copies, earning a gold disc from the RIAA on November 8, 1973. That year, he also performed a memorable rendition of Help Me Make It Through the Night with Rita Coolidge on BBC's The Old Grey Whistle Test, their chemistry electrifying the audience. In addition to his success in country music, Kristofferson's songs crossed genres. In 1972, legendary soul singer Al Green recorded a heartfelt version of For the Good Times on his album I'm Still in Love with You, showcasing the emotional depth of Kristofferson's songwriting. While continuing to impress with his music, Kristofferson made a surprising shift into acting, managing to keep audiences captivated in both fields. Kristofferson's acting career. Driven by his artistic instincts, Kristofferson ventured into the world of film, embarking on an unconventional acting career. His early roles included starring in Cisco Pike alongside Gene Hackman. Soon after, he appeared in Paul Mazurski's Bloom in Love and collaborated with director Sam Peckinpah on Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. This partnership with Peckinpah would lead to future projects, including Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia and Convoy. Kristofferson's acting career expanded further when he starred alongside Burt Reynolds in Semi-Tough and worked with director Martin Scorsese in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. He also appeared in Vigilante Force and The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea before taking on a major role in A Star is Born with Barbra Streisand. His performance in A Star is Born earned him a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, marking the peak of his acting career. At the height of his popularity in the film industry, Kristofferson made the bold decision to turn down significant roles in movies like William Friedkin's Sorcerer and the romantic war drama Hanover Street. Despite his growing success in Hollywood, his music career hit a rough patch with the release of his 9th album, Shake Hands with the Devil, which failed to achieve commercial success, even though his earlier collaboration with Barbra Streisand had brought him significant recognition. Kristofferson's foray into television also proved challenging. His 1979 two-part film, Freedom Road, did not perform well, further contributing to a difficult period in his career. However, he made a remarkable comeback in 1980 with his portrayal of the legendary Sheriff James Averill in Michael Cimino's epic Heaven's Gate. Although the film was initially a commercial failure, it later received critical acclaim, helping to revive Kristofferson's standing in the film industry. Kristofferson's acting career continued to flourish after his appearance in the 1981 film Rollover, where he starred opposite Jane Fonda. In 1986, he showcased his charisma once again alongside Johnny Cash in the film The Last Days of Frank and Jesse James, solidifying his legacy as a multi-talented entertainer capable of leaving a lasting impression in both music and film. Despite facing setbacks in both his music and acting careers, Kris Kristofferson's enduring talent and creative versatility have ensured his place as a revered figure in entertainment history. His ability to seamlessly transition between two industries while maintaining a sense of authenticity and artistic integrity continues to inspire and captivate audiences to this day. In 1985, Kris Kristofferson took on a role in Trouble in Mind alongside Keith Carradine and Laurie Singer. His television debut came in 1987 with America, followed by appearances in Millennium and Fire Down Below, the latter starring Steven Seagal. Kristofferson delivered a remarkable performance as Sheriff Charlie Wade, a corrupt lawman in John Sayles' critically acclaimed 1996 film Lone Star, a role that contributed to the film's Academy Award nomination for Best Screenplay. In 1998, Kristofferson partnered with Wesley Snipes in the action-packed Blade, where he played Abraham Whistler, a knowledgeable mentor to the titular character. The following year, he showcased his dancing skills in Dance With Me, co-starring with Vanessa Williams and Cheyenne. In 1999, Kristofferson joined Mel Gibson in the gritty revenge film Payback. His foray into the science fiction genre came in 2001 with a leading role in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, which sparked renewed excitement in his career. He reprised his role as Abraham Whistler in Blade Trinity in 2004, having previously returned as the character in Blade 2 in 2002. In 2006, Kristofferson starred alongside Genevieve Bujold in Disappearances. His film credits continued to grow, with roles in Dolphin Tale in 2011, and in 2012 he appeared with Dolly Parton in the musical drama Joyful Noise. In 2013, he once again demonstrated his acting versatility in The Motel Life and Angels Sing, the latter of which also starred Willie Nelson and Lyle Lovett. Throughout the highs and lows of his career, Kristofferson's romantic life remained equally complex, filled with passionate relationships and heartbreaking separations, all while he never wavered in his pursuit of love. Tumultuous journey of love. Kris Kristofferson's romantic life was as captivating as his career, marked by relationships with some of the most extraordinary women of his era, bringing both intense love and heartbreak. In 1960, shortly after graduating from Oxford University, Kristofferson married his high school sweetheart, Frances Beer. In a 1974 interview with Rolling Stone, Kristofferson reflected on the marriage, saying, "We thought we could fix each other's problems. We got married, she got pregnant, my book was rejected, and I had to support us financially alone." As Kristofferson's family grew, so did his sense of responsibility. Their daughter Tracy was born in 1962, followed by their son Chris Jr. 6 years later. To provide for his growing family, Kristofferson made the bold decision to join the Army in 1965, eventually securing a teaching position at West Point. However, before starting his military career, he made an important trip to Nashville to visit a friend. The city's vibrant music scene reignited his passion for his lifelong dream of becoming a successful songwriter, a dream that had not yet materialized. This trip would unknowingly mark the beginning of an extraordinary journey. With newfound determination, Kristofferson moved his family to Nashville and took a janitorial job at Columbia Records to make ends meet. This daring choice, driven by his commitment to music, came with significant sacrifices, including a substantial pay cut. Beer, naturally concerned about their financial situation, especially after the birth of their son Chris Jr., who had health issues that resulted in $10,000 in medical bills, became increasingly worried. The strain on their relationship intensified, leading to their separation in 1969. During the late 1960s, as Kristofferson began making a name for himself in Nashville as a songwriter, he briefly dated legendary singer-songwriter Janis Joplin. Their passionate, short-lived romance ended tragically when Joplin died in October 1970 at the age of 27. Kristofferson and Joplin had met through their mutual friend Bobby Neuwirth in the spring of 1970. Neuwirth had suggested they travel to California together, and Kristofferson ultimately decided to stay with Joplin at her home in Larkspur for a few weeks. It was during this time that their romantic relationship blossomed. Kristofferson encouraged Joplin to record his song, "Me and Bobby McGee," which she adored. Joplin recorded the song just before her untimely death, for her album, Pearl. Kristofferson didn't know she had recorded it until the producer played it for him the day after her passing. Listening to her raw and emotional rendition was overwhelming for Kristofferson, causing him to break down. He has since spoken about his deep admiration for Joplin's talent and spirit, recognizing the passion she poured into her music. Describing Joplin as a force of nature, Kristofferson credited her with bringing "Me and Bobby McGee" to life. The song became Joplin's only #1 single, posthumously topping the charts. As Kristofferson continued to achieve success in the early 1970s, he met and fell in love with singer Rita Coolidge. Their relationship seemed perfectly in sync, both on and off stage. In a 2016 interview, Coolidge recalled that she felt it was love at first sight when they met. During a flight to Memphis, the two talked non-stop, and their bond deepened quickly. In 1973, they married and welcomed their daughter Casey the following year. Their professional partnership also flourished, with their album Full Moon earning critical acclaim and multiple Grammy nominations. In 1979, Kristofferson embarked on a unique musical journey to Havana, Cuba, where he performed at the renowned Havana Jam Festival alongside other top artists. He took the stage with Coolidge, Stephen Stills, and several Cuban and American musicians at Havana Jam '79, leaving a lasting impression on audiences. That same year, Kristofferson and Coolidge appeared on The Muppet Show in a memorable episode that aired on November 18th. In one of the episode's most unforgettable moments, Kristofferson performed "Help Me Make It Through the Night" with Miss Piggy, while Coolidge sang "We're All Alone" alongside a group of charming forest creatures. The pair also teamed up with the Muppet Monsters for a lively rendition of "A Song I Want to Sing," captivating the audience with their chemistry and musical talent. Despite their success in both music and television, their marriage became increasingly strained due to personal issues. including struggles with substance use and creative differences. In 1980, after 7 years together, Kristofferson and Coolidge divorced. Though their marriage ended, Coolidge has continued to speak fondly of Kristofferson. In a heartfelt tribute to People magazine, she remarked that their bond remains unbreakable, rooted in a shared humor and deep understanding beyond the ordinary. Coolidge added that their connection is something beyond conventional comprehension, a testament to the depth of their relationship. In her memoir, Delta Lady, Rita Coolidge reflected on the challenges in her marriage with Kris Kristofferson. In an interview with the Irish Times, she clarified that her intention was never to villainize Kristofferson. Rather, she sought to recount her experiences without harboring any ill will or resentment. Meanwhile, Kristofferson moved on with his life, and in 1983 he married attorney Lisa Myers, a relationship that would become the most stable and lasting of his life. Together they had 5 children, Jesse, Jody, Johnny, Kelly, and Blake, all born between 1984 and 1994. The family divided their time between their homes in Malibu, California, and Maui, Hawaii. Lisa Myers played a pivotal role in helping Kristofferson turn his life around after years of battling depression and alcoholism. She stood by him unwaveringly, collaborating on songs and joining him on tour. Their marriage, spanning nearly 40 years, became his longest and most successful. However, Kristofferson faced another daunting challenge. This time, a health crisis that would test him like never before. Illness and death. Throughout his long and illustrious career, Kris Kristofferson encountered numerous health challenges, particularly as he aged. His health issues began to escalate in the late 2000s, characterized by memory loss and cognitive difficulties. These symptoms led to a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease in 2013. The news shocked Kristofferson and his family, as Alzheimer's is a degenerative condition that gradually impairs memory and cognitive function. For several years, Kristofferson was treated for what doctors believed to be Alzheimer's, undergoing various medications and therapies aimed at managing the disease. However, as his condition failed to improve, Lisa Myers grew suspicious that there might be an alternative cause behind his declining health. In 2016, after years of uncertainty, she sought a second medical opinion. The new doctor conducted a comprehensive evaluation of Kristofferson's symptoms, ultimately recommending tests for Lyme disease. To the family's astonishment, the results revealed that Kristofferson had Lyme disease, not Alzheimer's. It was a revelation that left them reeling. Myers speculated that Kristofferson might have contracted Lyme disease between 14 to 30 years prior, possibly during the 2006 filming of Disappearances in the forests of Vermont. Looking back, Myers noted that the diagnosis of fibromyalgia should have prompted doctors to test for Lyme disease earlier. Kristofferson had suffered from persistent muscle spasms, a common symptom of Lyme disease, for many years. Once the correct diagnosis was made, Kristofferson began receiving treatments for Lyme disease, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBO, and transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, which targeted his brain's frontal lobe. Additionally, he was treated with antibiotics and doxycycline. His friend and fellow songwriter Chris Gantry shared how miraculous his recovery was, comparing it to Lazarus rising from the dead in an interview with Closer Weekly. Over the following 6 years, Kristofferson's health improved significantly once doctors ruled out Alzheimer's. His memory and cognitive abilities, which had been in decline for almost a decade, began to return, allowing him to regain much of his former sharpness and vitality. In 2016, a close friend revealed to Closer that Kristofferson's mind was as clear as it had been 20 years earlier. His wife, Lisa, and their children marveled at the transformation, witnessing a rejuvenated side of him. Myers called the improvement a modern medical miracle, noting that he had been prescribed countless medications for conditions he didn't have, each with its own set of side effects. Following his Lyme disease diagnosis and appropriate treatment, Kristofferson's health dramatically improved, though Myers acknowledged that on some days he appeared completely well, while on others, the lingering effects of his illness were still noticeable. As his health stabilized, Kristofferson found a sense of peace and introspection, though he was unaware that the end of his life was approaching. In January 2021, Kris Kristofferson decided to retire from his career in music and acting. A close friend shared that Kristofferson was no longer prepared for the demands of touring and wanted to simplify his family's life by converting his assets into cash. The legendary singer, songwriter, and actor was beginning to feel the toll of years spent traveling and performing. As he neared his 87th birthday, Kristofferson began to openly discuss the realities of aging. Having been in the spotlight for so long, he finally felt ready to talk about some of the personal challenges he faced in his later years. Concerned about his health in the future, he made careful financial arrangements to ensure that his family would be taken care of even in his absence. His devotion to securing his family's financial well-being was evident as he took steps to reduce their burdens. Sadly, Kris Kristofferson passed away at his home in Maui on September 28, 2024, at the age of 88. As he reflected on his life, Kristofferson expressed sincere gratitude for the experiences he had, the music he created, and the connections he made with his audience. Humbled to the end, he recognized that his journey required determination, decisiveness, and an unwavering commitment to his craft. His music left an indelible mark on millions of people, and his influence inspired generations of artists, proving that art can transcend time and deeply resonate with the human experience. Although Kristofferson never sought fame or wealth as his primary motivation, his success in both music and acting brought him significant financial prosperity. At the time of his passing, his net worth was estimated at around $50 million, underscoring the enduring appeal and success of his work. Despite this wealth, Kristofferson found greater value in the emotional and spiritual fulfillment that came from knowing his songs had touched countless lives. For Kristofferson, success wasn't measured by money or accolades, but by the deep connection and love he shared with his fans. Even after he stopped performing, he found solace in the knowledge that his music would continue to resonate with audiences and that his voice would live on through his songs. After his peaceful passing, Kris Kristofferson remained a revered figure in the music world. And after his death, his close friend Willie Nelson shared a revelation that shocked many. What could it be? Willie Nelson's shocking revelation about Kris Kristofferson. In a candid interview, Willie Nelson shared a heartfelt and unexpected admission about his longtime friend, Kris Kristofferson. Nelson hailed Kristofferson as one of the greatest songwriters in history. Reflecting on the icons of country music, Nelson placed Kristofferson alongside legendary figures like Merle Haggard and Hank Williams, acknowledging his profound impact on the genre. Nelson also mentioned Billy Joe Shaver and included Kristofferson in a revered group of musicians who had a lasting influence on country music. His admiration for Kristofferson stemmed from their decades-long friendship and their shared involvement in the music industry. Both artists were known for their extraordinary ability to convey raw emotions through their songs, which set them apart from many others in the field. Nelson, who penned timeless classics like Crazy, originally titled Stupid, recognized the lasting legacy of Kristofferson's music. During the conversation, Nelson, ever modest about his own success, noted that while songs like Crazy and Funny How Time Slips Away are considered classics, Kristofferson's music continued to serve as a source of inspiration for him and many others. The mutual respect between these two legends highlighted the deep bonds forged over decades of creating music that continues to resonate with listeners across generations. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the next video that appears on your screen.